follow my lead. I got it planted how I water my seeds before they grow to be trees.
Hey, the place is getting liver. I feel like I'm on fire. You think you're getting hype?
Yo, what the? I don't want to curse, but this is making me so excited because I don't know. This court just had that kind of energy. My name is Mike Swift, by the way. This is the Road to 1000 podcast, and this is court 178 that we painted. And thanks to my friend right here, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir.
Please let him know.
Coleman Ayers by any means basketball. Man, it's a blessing to be out here. It's almost surreal at times, so thank you for making all this happen. I'm excited to talk it all out, man. It's amazing.
What's crazy is this wouldn't happen without, you, reaching out and wanting to visit the Philippines. What was it about the Philippines that made you want to visit us?
Oh, man, I mean, especially being in the States and growing up around basketball my whole life and doing a little bit of traveling here and there, even in my childhood, it's like you always see a Filipino hooper. No matter where you are, you're going to see that Filipino hooper. And every time it's like, yo, like, what is this, man? Like, they're not the tallest usually. They're not like the bounciest, but you're going to see it everywhere. And I always heard like whispers here and there, even when I was younger, like, yo, the Philippines is the basketball capital of the world. And I was like, all right, we're going to have to see about that. As I get older, I see stuff on social media. It gets a little bit more prevalent on social media. And I'm seeing exactly what I see when I'm out here. But it's like you don't really know until you know. You don't really experience it until you experience it and you're in it. So I'm like, all right, I have to see what this is about. So had to make it happen, man. And one thing about me is I don't like going somewhere and just observing. I will, and I like learning, and that's 99% of what I'm doing is just learning from people out here. But if I can do anything to just make a little bit of a difference, man, that's how I kind of want to leave a mark on any place, especially somewhere like this where they've given so much to the game. So anything I can do to give back a little bit to the game here.
Well, amazing. I'm telling you that this is not a little bit to many of the folks out here. Actually, for many of the folks out here, as you can see, this is probably, no lie, one of the biggest things they came across, you know what I mean, in their lifetime. So your trip here, as early as it is, I could say it's already impactful. And you could tell by the surroundings, like we've changed it. We put the cement here. Yeah. That was not even cemented. So let me show you exactly. This how it looked before. And now look, it's cemented, it's painted. What do you envision? Like, how do you see this coming about? Like, what have you learned so far in this particular court in your few days of touching ground here?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been saying this the last couple of days. Like, the other court down the street is an amazing project, and I'm excited to see how that grows as well. But that one's already kind of established. You got the bleachers. You got, like, we just walked in there. There's a game in there. So they're already hooping in there. Here, like you said, I don't even know if you could call it a basketball court. It's just a hoop, just two hoops. Here you can call it a basketball court.
It wasn't even just a basketball court. It was a busy, active basketball court, that's the one that kind of like brought me that attention. That was the magnet for me. When I 100%. First came here, I'm like, man, I can't believe. I've seen it many times. Yeah. I've been here enough time to know we go through things where we'll play on any kind of court, right?
Oh, yeah.
But this in particular, dog, man. When you see the rocks and the stones, the edges, how a stubble toe.
And they play barefoot too, so it's not like you wearing shoes. Like
right, so they train their toes to hit cracks, corners, anything, and it's thick enough.
Crazy.
That's right. What kind of sneakers? We don't even need sneakers.
We don't even need that, and it's crazy.
We brought sneakers. Nobody wearing this.
Exactly.
Home.
Hey, it's insane, man. But I mean, I think that's the cool part about this court, right? Is like. There was really nothing here. It wasn't like there was already concrete and paint. Like, it was pretty much the whole project, the whole nine. So being able to see that built up from the ground, and then obviously see players, like all these kids playing on it as soon as the concrete's in, as soon as a little paint gets washed off because of the rain, as soon as the whole process, they're going through it, and it's crazy.
They
man.
doing it while it's going on.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You're still painting. Stop shooting.
Yeah.
It's raining. Get
Yep.
get away.
Oh, yeah.
Get away from the rain. You're gonna get sick. They're still shooting. No matter
Uh-huh.
what. So that energy, just it captivated me to say any resource that's going to me and anybody that's calling that's willing to help what I do, I'm gonna take him over here
Absolutely.
and I'm gonna start something new here,
Yes.
and I'm gonna start it with whoever's down, and we're gonna build it together unselfishly, like a collaboration for the world to witness and to participate.
Absolutely.
And now you're here. You have Coach Val.
Yep.
Shout out to his movement. Chauka
Yep.
basketball.
Yeah, man.
How'd you link up with him?
Yeah, so we're both from the same area. I'm from the DMV area, DC, and then he's from Virginia. So linked up with him, and then he was playing pro over here. And he's kind of the one that was telling me a lot about, like, just what hoops was like over. He's like, bro, like, I just got out here. This is a couple years ago. He's like, just got out here, and I see this crazy stuff going on in the basketball culture. I'm like, all right, I gotta tap in. So he's been a great resource as well, just being able to kind of be boots on ground out here, even when you're not here and others are here. So it's crazy how, like, there's so many people out here who are just willing to help. And, like, whether it's with the court or just in general, like, just it's really all love. Like, and you see it walking down the street. It's just everybody's kind of, like, willing to help and work together. And I think we can take that and just add a little bit of fuel to that fire out here, man.
Speak about your friend.
Yes, sir. My guy Cam out here.
Speak about Cam, because like Cam has been here silently. I could see sometimes he would just grin by himself when he spot. I got videos of him that he don't even know that I'm just shooting him while he's shooting people. And he said he's also from Filipino descent. Like he got
some fans. That's why the two names on the court are Gonzalez, because that's the family lineage
representing
right
for the Gonzalez. Yo, Cam for the Gonzalez. Pardon the left. You know what I mean?
Pinoy lineage.
That's right.
Nah, he's been great, man. He's been he's been just a part of the process as I am in terms of organizing everything and capturing it. So it's been amazing, man.
Yeah, it's so dope to have you. You know what? We have more in store, and we're gonna find out more about his story, the root of the
By
movement
Any
that
Means,
you're a
Brother
part of,
King,
by
yep.
any means, basketball. Like we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to that. Check this out for now, though.
Follow my lead, I got it planted how I water my seeds before they grow to be trees.
Hey, the place is getting live.
Yo, I'm back. I'm back over here with Cam. We was talking about him, and he's a very big part of this journey because you're the one capturing most of the things that's going on. So what's that like, being behind the lens and being like, you kind of have to be ninja, actually, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, being behind the lens is always something that's really, it's really interesting, and it's really something that's kind of difficult to navigate because you constantly have the subject that you're trying to capture, but like you said, you kind of have to operate in the shadows so that it's not drawing too much attention and taking them away from the moment that you're trying to, really capture. Because then you get a lot of the times you get kids that look into the camera, and it just kind of ruins the authenticity of the moment. So I really like, obviously trying to pull candid shots, not planning too much. I don't go into this with a storyboard or anything like that. It's very raw, very authentic. It's just kind of what I see, and I'm constantly having that creator's eye and always kind of trying to think, oh, this would be a great shot, this would be a great intro, this would tie into this theme. So the job kind of never stops.
That's the beauty of this, I guess, being, we're like journalists, right? People, you're like basically covering history.
Exactly.
I appreciate what you do, man, because I was just watching the vlogs that came prior to this day, the one that's been popping up in the reels. That's not even, that's also from an editing standpoint, I'm sure, I don't know who does that for y'all too, but kind of like you're editing it as you shoot already, the way you're saying it, right? You already, you have, oh, this looks good for the intro, this could patch up for the thing, but you ain't plan it.
Yeah.
You just kind of oh,
they call it, in the industry, they call it shooting to edit. and that's something I learned along the way. Because when you're first starting, you don't know what you don't know, so you're just kind of trying to learn the process like anything. So early on, obviously I'm dealing with tons of clips that I'm never going to use. And as you go through the editing process, you kind of learn how to become more efficient and how to kind of have that creator's eye and know exactly what you're going to use and not overproducing in a sense. I'm not capturing too much.
The few days that you've been here, what are the rawest footage, or what's the most capturing moments that you've encountered in the few days that you've been in the Philippines?
I'd say honestly today's one of the big ones. Yesterday was a big day, but I think today you can feel it at this court. It's a little bit different. You have all the kids, they're getting lifted up. Like yesterday was about, kind of the older guys, kind of the ones that started, that are probably some of the inspirations for these kids. But here you kind of feel that next generation, this is where they're going to be raised up. This is where they're going to be able to hone in on their skills, just learn the game. This is where the whole community, as you can see, you've got, probably 100 people just, lined up watching, people down by the water. So it's under the bridge, and it's kind of like you can see I can see right now kind of the themes and the layers and the depth of this location. Like you have the big city where, even like this is a different environment. As when I say this, I'm referring to, the cityscape, the skyline here. That's a completely different environment than what's taking place essentially under this bridge, underground in a sense, in kind of this forgotten corner, down by the river. You have, like, right now I can see a lone like subject over there. Right outside, kind of the sewage line. Like,
Yeah.
So there's always kind of something in the environment that I can pull from if I just have, the tools to capture it.
Yeah.
Right now I may not have like a
Look,
long enough lens.
you've been flying the drone for a few days now, and I want you to tell them the story and the incident that we had right here. And you know what? Being a person that also flies drones, I know the dangers that come with it. You know what I'm saying? The danger of losing the drone, especially.
sure.
So tell us about that. The art of flying a drone.
So honestly, I started picking up a drone maybe a month and a half ago. It's something we had been wanting to get for a while, but we were lucky enough to get one, and I had a trip, went and shot with my friend who flies drones, so he kind of showed me a lot of the ropes. I was able to get a lot myself, but he showed me a lot of the techniques and stuff. So obviously coming to Curacao, coming to the other places that you've seen the documentaries on, the drone footage has kind of taken everything kind of to that next level, and you yourself flying drones kind of know. So, when we came down to this court under the bridge, it was something that I wanted to capture, like I said, those depths. So I was trying to bring it up from above the bridge. You can see the traffic, you can see all the cars passing, and I wanted to kind of sweep it over the bridge, curl it back around, and I had to navigate through all those power lines. The bridge is very tight space, and we didn't get it through there. We had tons of kids like circling, and they go crazy over the drone, but a lot of them, they're young, they don't understand, like,
Give me some space.
Yeah, like
let me breathe.
They don't understand, they're bumping, they're grabbing, so it's like
yeah,
it gets
yeah.
really it can quickly get really difficult to understand where you're at with the drone. Even if you're looking at it, even if you're looking at the the screen, it can get very hard to really get a spatial awareness.
Well, they
of
say
how
you need an
that
extra
sensor is.
person that's a lookout for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
So you don't underestimate the importance of having that lookout, because it can save you, your drone. Luckily,
it
we're able
happened
to
to me
recover.
in Cavite. I was flying it at night. I didn't realize there was a one coconut tree that was poking out. So when I'm watching from the screen, I should have been believing. I should have been I should have followed my gut that the person that was my lookout was not really looking out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was like flying it, and when I realized I messed up is when I saw leaves on my screen. And how can there be leaves You know what I'm saying? If I'm flying it all up there, all by itself, where the hell did the leaves from the screen pop up? That's my boy. He works with me. Come here. Come on, just he's my first podcast partner, actually. So I'm gonna have him ask you questions. So I saw it and I'm like, what the heck? And when I looked, I didn't know that the drone's got a sensor, like an emergency sensor where it gets stuck so you can find it in the dark. So you just see from far, like flashing lights, and then I had to go dig for someone who knows how to climb coconut trees. That was a trip. Who climbs coconut trees? It's past midnight, basically, and I'm in the hood where I'm not from.
Yeah.
So researching for a person who could climb trees, one, climbing tree in the dark, two, and then willing to be able to, you know what I'm saying, do that. I found them. I documented it, but, you know, that's one of those, what do you call it, battle scars with my drone.
It's one of those trauma wounds. Yeah.
Trauma wounds, and yours was stuck. I don't know if they can see it in the depth of this lens, but up there is like a metal pipe that's right by the bridge side, and his drone got stuck in a space that's like this. Yo, the drone went in and landed out there. Maybe we'll show footage of how they got it down, but it's definitely brain, not brawn, that caused that thing.
And you can, that experience was one of the first, I guess, realizations of like what the culture is here, like how y'all just figure it out, y'all just have ways of doing things, getting things done that a lot of people probably in the States, a lot of people around the world, you know, that just don't have to, you know, adapt to their environment.
They would have made a call, AAA, Crane, whatever.
We're paying it, like we're paying to get it done.
Yeah.
We're waiting till tomorrow. We're buying a new drone, like it's anything but figuring it out and actually getting it down. So, you know, we started trying to use a ball. Probably wasn't the smartest route. You know, the ball hits it hits the top, now it's smashed, then it comes down, you don't know which way. So a couple of kids actually went up, you know, to the top of the bridge, reached over with a
like they created like a hook wood that they found from the side, patched it up with like ping pong, and all of a sudden they're like,
did it within like 10 minutes.
And you just had to do your job and catch your drone to make sure.
Yeah, you know, we play American football back in the States, so it was like fielding a punt return for real. So it was that was a crazy like first night moment, because that's first night. So
I know
that's
a
a crazy way to
night.
start off the trip.
I like that part where we was able to show you that resiliency. You know what I'm saying? Like the Filipinos, we're resilient. Look, even the way we painted this today, how many times it rained, how many times it got scraped off and had to repaint just to get it to where we're at now. So that resiliency is with us, and you know what? I'm so happy to even know and meet another brother, because he's our Gonzalez brother.
Yes, sir.
You told me you're of a Filipino descent and you're a Gonzalez, and we painted that last name there, and you said it so proudly, and I want you to be able to also let our people know, you know, how long you've been, what do you know about your Pinoy roots?
Yeah, there's not a ton of records just because of when my ancestors migrated. So it was on my mom's side. She's a Gonzalez. She's a family of 7 as far as her siblings. So large family. Grew up in Connecticut, but moved around a lot because they were a military family. Her dad was, partial Filipino. His dad was full Filipino. So my great grandpa was full Filipino. So that makes me about an 8th. But I've always kind of represented it pretty proudly just since I knew, just because, it's always cool to identify with a culture, and it's like, just being able to see, like you said, the resiliency, the community, the strength of the Filipino community is something that, I feel like I can coincide with and I want to recognize. So it's kind of become an increasing thing as I've gotten older. I've always wanted to look into it. Sometimes my family steers me away from, like, the ancestry sites. They're like, you don't know what they're doing with your DNA and all that. So, but when I was out here, I was like, I gotta figure it out, figure out what I can. So looked into it. One of my uncles, he he had already kind of started doing the.
Do you know what area in the Philippines your
as far
family
as
came
it
from?
says, it just
Gonzalez?
says Manila.
Manila?
Yeah, it just says that he migrated from Manila. Simon E. Gonzalez migrated. He was born in like 1897. Migrated over to the States in Connecticut, and from there, you know, he had a large family himself. A lot of those names live on in my uncles still today. But yeah, so I'm proud to be able to, you know, put my mom's name, put my aunt's name on this court, because it meant a lot to them that I was, you know, here, and I was taking pride in the fact that we have roots here, and I wanted them to be a part of this project. So they donated, you know, a decent amount of their own personal funds to help make this thing a reality. So I
Thank
definitely
you.
was, you know, wanted to put their name. My mom, you know, my dad, he contributed as well. You can see Bobby Joe Wells Jr. on there. He wanted to honor his father because he's a junior. So my dad actually goes by Trey. But I asked him, I said, what name you want me to put on there? He said, I want to recognize my father too. So you can just see, like, our family just wants to recognize, you know,
That's love.
everybody
That's love.
before them. And that's a lot of what, you know, the Filipino culture does.
Pops Trey, your name gonna ring bells over here, Pops. Got you. We appreciate you and thank you, and thank you for blessing us with your son's talent and their journey here has been impactful in a short period that they're already here. So you could expect us to keep this bridge literally,
Sure.
you know what I mean, connected, and thank you, man.
Yeah, this is something, you know, I want to be able to come back to, you know, for decades.
By any means, basketball is in the house. All-Star team of Barangay Pineda. Handa na ba kayo? Mag-ingay! Alright, we gonna get ready. Our All-Star squad is ready. 15 minutes, warm up. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Good looking out. This is our episode, whatever, but this is our Road to 1,000. By any means, basketball camp.
Appreciate you.
Cole, big love, Cole. Yes, sir. My guys.
I got it planted how I water my seeds before they grow to be trees.
Hey,